Welcome to my sacred space. Today I'm going to be talking about light frequency, which I mentioned in my previous vlog. I'm going to be talking about it because it means so very much to me. Light frequency is not just a thought or a contemplation in my world, it is very real. I have lived the experience of being not just a human, an emotional, mental, and spiritual body, but actually experiencing light frequency in my own form and in the form of humanity, the animal kingdom, and even Mother Nature. So I'm going to touch on a little bit about how that came to be. Around the age of 5, my father was having one of his family meetings where we would sit and listen to what he had to share. And I was looking down, I think I was humming a song to myself. And when I looked back up, I was in heaven. I was overwhelmed with the color around my father, with the sacred geometry, with the movement, with the lights. There was so much that, of course, now I've come to know was his light frequency, his aura, his universal grid, that all of that coexists with our mental, emotional, physical bodies. And when I looked at all this as a child, I was filled with joy, and I remember feeling such a deep sense of love. A love that went beyond dialogue. It was bigger than the room we were in. It went far beyond the walls. All of this color and movement, and what I come to know now, of course, that light frequency is a pattern. It has sacred dialogue in it. It has your hall of records. It has your soul contracts. It communicates at all times with this dimension. And so at the time, about 5 years old, all I was interested in was the color, the shapes, and that everything was moving. And I remember asking myself at that time, what is that? Of course, I didn't say that out loud because I didn't want to interrupt him. When I asked internally, intuitively, what is that? All I know is that visually and audibly, I saw all the light turn and literally become more like a ray of light in my direction. And all of that was expanding and moving all over the room, the sacred geometry, the colors, the vibrations, all of that came towards me. And I heard, I am pure energy, and you are seeing pure light frequency. And at the time I didn't understand that, but all I know is that I felt a deep sense of peace. I felt at home, and I felt tremendous love. From that moment on, when I looked around the room at the plants, at the dog, at everything, it was surrounded by this light frequency, this auric patterning, and it was alive and communicating with me from that moment forward. So, everything that I've learned, and for those who don't know, I'm a telepathic intermediary, and I do readings and healings and all kinds of things that I was taught by not a human being, but by spirit guides and the light frequency itself, which is a form of communication and has an intelligence that is connected to and moves through every single form, including our humanity. And I was taught all of that through this physical dimension being the classroom of not only thought but application. And I'll get more into that in later vlogs. So I wanted to just touch on quickly today that light frequency may not be a known part of your humanity, but it is very real. And when your human body, your mental body, or your emotional body are not working correctly, or you feel disconnected to them, your light frequency, your universal soul signature, your the patterning of your light body is available to you at all times for you to reach into and for you to become at one with, because it's already a part of you. It's in your intuition, it's in your guidance, and for you to apply it to the areas that aren't necessarily working the way you want them to, and for you to experience a great sense of freedom and a great sense of I'm going to say calibration and integration. So until next time, I wanted to just touch on not only how I know about light frequency, and there's so much more to come about that, but I wanted to let you know that I have learned about it through the very frequency itself, and it has taught me that there is so much more than meets the eye, and that children and beings of all ages experience the communication of spirit, of energy, of light frequency, and are even able to see it and hear it as I do. So never replace your own truth with information, but if it resonates, make it your own. Blessings.